On this Black Friday 2022, is it worth doing a PC upgrade now or should you wait? Now, this is a list of the items which I think are minimum now to buy for a decent gaming machine, and the list doesn't include a monitor, a case, Wi-Fi 6, an NVMe for game storage, a keyboard or a mouse. Now the short answer is wait. Try spring or Black Friday 2023. So why did I choose these items? The i5 13600 came out about October 23, and this gave a big increase in the number of cores and an increase in the performance, and it makes it a worthy upgrade. And in my opinion and finances, prior to the i5 13 gen, the price performance was not worth an upgrade even from a 7th gen i5. I was reading somewhere that the i5 doesn't have a maximum wattage, but it still obviously has a temperature limiter. So if you can keep that temperature of the i5 cool enough, you can actually get more power out of it. When I was doing my initial list, the 790 and the 690 were very similar in price. The 690 has gone down a little bit further. In theory, I would probably go for the 690 board now rather than the 790. But when you come to purchase them, just check the prices. When it comes to memory, the higher the frequency doesn't necessarily equate to much better performance. There seems to be like a trade-off, and higher performance in memory is quite expensive. You're much better putting that memory towards a CPU or even better, a GPU. And the 3600 seems to be a good sweet spot. Motherboards today have 4 or more slots for NVMe drives. So I would recommend putting one drive in for your operating system and then another drive for your data, games loading, that etc. And that other drive could actually be mirrored as well for safety. The operating system doesn't really necessarily, I think, need to be mirrored, but what you can do is image backups, because it's going to be quite small, and if the operating system gets corrupted or you need to reinstall it, you can recover the whole drive. When you put data and games on there, the backups are so large that you wouldn't want to do it. So to drive an ultra-wide monitor at these resolution and this frame rate, you really need a 3070 or a Radeon 6800. Now I've chosen a 3070 because my monitor is a G-Sync. Most monitors today, I believe, if they've got any synchronization, they got FreeSync and G-Sync, so you could use any graphics card. But again, check what you got first before you buy a graphics card to make sure it's compatible with your monitor. The amount of power the 13600 and the graphics card takes, even on a pickless build, comes to just under 600 watts. So if you times it by 1.5 and add 100 watts to it, you're very close to a kilowatt. Really, a kilowatt is minimum recommended. I have seen builds with an 850, and you could probably get it, you could try that. But if you want a safety margin and you want to make sure that any surges doesn't suddenly crash your PC, then it's basically a kilowatt today. Because I want positive pressure and I want to have a mesh to filter any dust, I require a fan that's got static pressure. I want to drive it at lower speeds, hence a PWM fan. I also don't want it to struggle sucking air through a dust mesh filter. God, that's actually quite hard to say. That is a tongue twister. So currently, because most of these items are new, the new 4000 graphics cards have only just come out and they're very expensive. There's no downward pressure on these current parts that I've picked. And the list is quite handy, so at least you know what items you need to get minimum, and you can just keep checking these items to see when the prices have gone down. For me, I'd want to go down at least 30% before I even think about buying them.